So in this video, we'll add Kanban mode to our CRM system. So for that, I have just asked this Cloud AI to give code for Kanban board using Tailwind CSS. So I will copy this code and I will add into our CRM. So first I will, for example, we'll put this Kanban board on dashboard only, and I will not put directly on dashboard. I will create one livewire component. So PHP artisan make livewire, then Kanban dot board. So this livewire component will be created. So in this board, I will add this code what we have copied. So we don't need this HTML body, so I will remove this one, and I will add this board basically into our dashboard. So I don't need this other things. I will remove this, and we'll use P6 what we have used for every other page, and then add the rate livewire, and this will be the Kanban dot board. So now we have this style Kanban board and all these things. So now we'll need to add the data. So what we have this leads. So we'll add this leads there on dashboard. So I will get this leads and all these things. So I will go into this component, and here I will use this use app slash models slash lead, and then we'll get this public dollar leads, and in this lead I will create one function, public function mount, and we'll get that leads. So this then leads equal to lead, then all for now. Okay, save. Then we'll do one thing. Once we have this leads, we'll bifurcate into different statuses. So what statuses we have right now? We have new, contacted, and converted. Okay, so public dollar statuses equal to what we have, new, contacted, and converted. So new, contacted, and converted. Okay, this we have statuses different, and then for every status we need that leads. Okay, so I will create this public dollar data, and this will be the array, and here I will loop. So for each this then leads as dollar lead, then so basically lead will have that particular status. So data, then dollar lead, then status, and here we will just add that particular lead. So by status this will be divided. So here it will be this, then data, then lead status. So we'll have that. For every status we'll have the data and all these things. So I will loop this one. So we have to add for each loop here, for each, then basically here will be the statuses as dollar status, and I will end at the rate end for each here. So I don't need this other code, so I will remove this. We'll have to loop through this one. Okay, and then basically we have this status here, Okay, and then we need to show this tasks. So here also we'll need that for each loop. Then here this will be the data, then particular this status as dollar lead. Okay, at the rate and for each. So here also we'll need only one, so it will be repeated. So and here will be this lead name. Okay, maybe we are adding the name of that particular lead, so that is also fine. It's not a task. Okay, so lead name I have added. Then let's see if this is working fine or not. So dashboard. So there is this issue with new undefined array key new. Okay, so if there is no new, then there is will be issue. So for each status will need that basically. So new, then we need array. So similarly, let's try to add this one. So at least blank data should be there. Okay, name on true. Okay, lead, then name. Okay, so we got this leads as lead, then lead. So I will just try to DD this one. So what data we are getting here? So this is a lead, so that should not be issue. Attributes we have name and all these things. But while saving this data to this array, there might be some issue. So data status. So data this status we have array and okay, so this should be array like this. So this should be added into array. So multiple leads will be there. So it should not directly replace. So that's why. So converted we have to. So I'll add some more data. So now say select new submit. Okay, now see in data. So we have this data. So there is no issue. So now we have new contacted converted. Now we'll have to move this from one status to other status and it should get updated. So for that I will use my livewire sortable. So basically this is using this sortable JS library. So we'll use this one. So I will copy this CDM and I will paste in. Basically I have to paste after livewire. So for now I will paste this into layout app.plate.php. Okay, and then basically we'll need this code. So here they have this for simple list and they have this for group. So for group we'll need these functions. So I'll copy these functions and we are not changing the group style. Okay, so we don't need to change that group. We need to change the style, means we need to sort that task only and move that task from basically one group to other group. So for us basically it's a lead. We are moving lead from one status to other status. So wire sortable update group order. So we don't need this. So update lead order I will say. And then here update lead status I can say. So this can be changed. Okay, so I have to create this function. Actually this function is not needed, so I will just copy this function and I will create this function. So public function, so whenever we change that particular group or some update that order na, so this will come here, and here data will come, may say, means updated order data or something like that. So I can say ordered data here. Okay, so for now I will just add dd here, so we'll see this data. Before that I will have to add some other things, like we have added for group, then now we have to add this for group id and all these things. So in our case we have this statuses group, and for this group wire create group, then group id. So rather than group id we will use this status only, group status, so sortable item. But we need to sort this group, we don't need this to sort this group, so I will just remove this one. I'll just add key, then let it be here. I think handle will not to need this one, so then group label remove, we don't need. Then in this we'll need this one. So now for this ul for this loop we'll need to add this one. So in this for each, before this for each I will add it here, and it will be wire sortable group item group, then rather than a group id it will be status only, and then here for each group task order by, they have group tasks, so we have this leads, then they have this sortable item and id. So I will copy this one and I will paste it here. So we have this lead id, so task id, rather than I will call it as a lead id. Okay, then we need this one, so we can move this one. I will paste it here and lead name will come here. Okay, and what else, we don't need this form to add task and all these things. Let's check how it's done. So refresh, I can move, actually I can move this whole group, I don't need to move this whole group. So I will try to remove this one, let's see. So this group is not moving. Now this task, okay, this is moving and we can see this data here. Okay, so first array we have only one, so here is value 4, that particular lead id value 4, and then in contacted we don't have nothing. In converted we have two things, one is value 3 and one is value 1. Okay, if I move this one from converted to contacted, then it should comes in contacted. Okay, now okay, this one is came into this contacted. Okay, now we can update the status of this. For third lead we can update the status as a contacted, this one. Okay, so then this will work. Okay, now we'll have to update. Now status is not updated, So again this come to here. Okay, if I do, if I change it to here, but still we are just showing data, we are not updating status, so we'll have to update the status. Okay, so as per this data we'll change this one. So we have this data. Okay, so we will loop through this data and we'll update the status. Okay, so first we have this loop, so we'll add for each order data as dollar group, we can say, and then we have this group and we have this items and value. Okay, we need items and value. So for each dollar group, then items as dollar item. Okay, and in item we have order and value. Okay, so for now we need this value. So value is basically our lead ID. Okay, so item, then value, this is our lead ID, and then this value. Okay, so we have this group items, so group value, basically this is a status. Okay, now we have to update this to database. Okay, so we do one thing, we'll get that lead find. So this is a lead ID, we got the lead, then we need to update. So what we are updating here, status of that particular lead. So status, and status will be this group value. Okay, we are updating this one. I think this will work. So status value, okay, find, we are getting this status lead ID from lead ID when we are updating the status of that particular, and then again we'll have to change these things. So in database we have changed. Okay, so let's see if this is working fine or not. So refresh, test update. So here, so there is one issue, items, for each grouped items as item. Okay, attempt to read property items on array. Okay, so group, so basically this should not be like this might be like this, group items, and also item value, this might also be like array. So let's check this one. So same, so value now, so I will change this to this as a value, same for this, item value is here, group value is here. So let's see. So now I'm updating this. Okay, there is update cannot be called statically, non-static method. Okay, so here it should be like this. Okay, this is updated, I think. Let's see. Okay, but the data is not getting updated here, so we'll have to call this function again to sort this one. Okay, so rather than mount, we'll call this function public function group data. Okay, here and I will call this function from here. This, then group data. Same function will call after this is done, updating done. Okay, so actual data will come. Okay, now refresh. Now I'll update it here. Okay, there is issue. So we have to reset that data. Okay, so group data first will have to reset this data to basically like this we can do. So that will also work. Undefined array key, okay, there is issue, so we should do this here. So I will copy this one, and or I will do this, then reset data. This will also work, I think. So I'll try to do this. So new, then I will move this one from here to here. So likewise we have added this thing. Okay, so for more customization of this, when I am dragging this one, so you can see if they have given some, if you want to add your own style to element while draggable states, so you can go through this one. And also right now we are just moving from one state to another state. Okay, so we are not updating this order, so we don't have any order in our database. If for that, suppose if we have this, we are updating just status here, so we can update the order or preference or priority, so that can also be updated using this one. So if you are doing for a single list, that is will be needed, and we are just moving from one status to other, so this is working like this. So this is how we have added this Kanban board. So basically for leads we are using, in future we will use this for tasks, or if user or business want to add this particular board in for any other data, so they can use this likewise. So for that we'll change some styles and all these things. We'll add some different colors rather than just a yellow color. So we can assign some colors to statuses. According to status, that color will be changed, so background color will be changed to green or something like that. So that can also be done. So likewise you can add the Kanban board, and in future we'll change these styles and all these things. We might make this dynamic to you worked, it should work for everything. Like we are just using for lead and we are just have hard coded leads, so we might create this board dynamic in future video, where we will use this as a common Kanban board for any data. So that's it for this video.